Hello, viewers. I'm Vibhuti Jha. This is Jaipur Dialogue USA. Welcome to the show. As always, please like, subscribe, support our channel, give your feedback, and we continue our work and sharing our thoughts with you. Today, I wanted to talk about one simple fact: only Donald Trump can do what he does. And it's a particularly tricky moment for me because I'm a Republican too. And that's where I have to engage in the policy and prescriptions that he is dissing out for or against India that we need to talk about. So, what is he doing ever since Operation Sindoor was launched? But Operation Sindoor was not an isolated event. Operation Sindoor was launched only because Pakistan did something absolutely criminal, heinous, and unfortunate, killing Indian Hindu tourists in Pahalgam in Kashmir area after identifying people as Hindus. So those people who say that terror has nothing to do with religion, please watch out. So Mr. Trump, since then, what has happened? He has gone completely berserk in his assessments of things. And I said this in my tweet, which I'm very grateful that more than 600,000 people looked at the tweet, 84 plus people bookmarked it, and more than 1,000 commented on it because it was a very timely suggestion. Now, here is the issue here. Mr. Trump, by equating Pakistan and India in the same word, telling Mr. Modi to have dinner with him, with Shahbaz Sharif. My suggestion to Mr. Trump is it's time for you to have dinner with Mr. Modi. That's important because you have rolled back the clock of friendship. By equating Sharif and Modi on the same platform as an equivalence, this is Trump's DEI policy against India, something that he has always hated. There is no DEI in relation to international relationships. India, which has been, brought together in a speed to a very special relationship, has now been downgraded to Pakistan's level. Now, whatever your equation with Pakistan is, whatever American equation with Pakistan is, we know all that. Pakistan's defense minister said unequivocally on a television show that they have been doing the dirty job for America and the West for last as many years. So Pakistan probably encashed one of its several IOUs to America. That is geopolitics for you. That is called, extracting your pound of flesh. So here is the tragic part. The entire killing, the terrorist killings in Pahalgam has gone in the background. Nobody is talking about it. But what is important is saving Pakistan's royal butt. There are many stories going along about the nuclear disaster, what has happened in Pakistan, the exposure to many, many shenanigans of Pakistan in relation to America and the West has come exposed. I'm a believer in the concept, and I have shared this with you before. Everything happens for a reason. And if everything that happens is good, then what is the lesson that we are learning from this? I, as a Republican, am obviously very disappointed. As Indian American Republican, we went out of the way to fight for Mr. Trump, not for this, what he has done. Now, what is up his sleeve, time will tell. But what is obvious is the fact that Qatar and Saudi Arabia are investing big monies in America. That's the need of the hour for America. And I remember very clearly, Mr. Trump was making a statement that Mr. Modi must encourage Indian investors to invest in America. But that's what is significant here. When a businessman becomes your political leader, then it is a very different ball game. Everything is viewed in the prism of profit, in the prism of shareholder value, in the prism of manufacturing and everything else. So Mr. Trump makes another statement. He's asking Apple not to manufacture in India. Was it what is a slap on India's face? Or is it requesting Apple to shift all the manufacturing to America? So remember, America is in a deep problem of its own kind. Regardless of the wordplay, America remains in a tight situation, suffering due to financial obesity. And as a result of which, Trump's entire effort is to create financial independence for America. Where does India figure in? India figures in because Trump also made mention that we want to increase trade with India. And it is very likely it will happen. What will happen when he visits India during Quad visit, I do not know. But as of now, because of Pakistan's shenanigans and its plays, Quad looks really irrelevant. Even Quad partners did not condemn or support India in the manner that India deserved and Indian people deserved. I, as an Indian American, thought that Mr. Trump will be principled in this matter of Islamic terrorism. But that seems to have gone out of the wind because he shook hands with the Syrian leader who was responsible for ISIS and the killings of American soldiers in the past. To him, Mr. Trump said, he looks like a strong and a good looking guy. Now, I understand the geopolitics of it all. I do understand that. But what is critical for us to know, where does India stand? So, Mr. Trump is doing what he wants to do. And he is doing it whatever he considers is beneficial for America. But this is the warning sign for India. For once, get real. Let's get real. India needs to get real. Hindus need to get real. Sanatanis need to get real about what do you want? What does this group of people want? If you do not if you do not know what you are looking for in a relationship, then you don't get what you are looking for. Then we end up only complaining about it. Trump should have done that, or Trump should have done that, this or that. America needed to do that. What is important here is this is the silver lining. This is the opportunity for India. Now you know Operation Sindoor and Pahalgam has totally brought out the friends and foes in the open, including the point 0.5 elements in India. Now we know that. If Bengal people are protesting against Indus Water Treaty being held in abeyance, think about that. If no Hollywood people are condemning Pahalgam or the role of Indian armed forces in Operation Sindoor, but they had all the time in the world to shed tears for Gaza or Palestine. I have no problem what you do, but be fair in what you do. The other part also is very important. Pakistan has become a DEI policy for Trump. Middle East, very remarkable. Mr. Trump has gone to Middle East to expand the scope of Abraham's Accord with an intention to save Israel, a very loyal friend of America. Why is it important? Mr. Trump brought about the famous Abraham's Accord in his first term, which was overturned by Biden or was weakened because of Gaza incident and everything else. The point of the matter is Trump recognizes, Israel recognizes that Israel cannot survive with 8 or 9 million of its population in a perpetual state of war in Middle East area. It cannot. It's just not practically feasible. How long can you survive in being in a state of perpetual emergency and a state of war with your neighbors throughout? The Abraham's Accord is with that intent to save Israel's future. That's where the gameplay is insofar as Middle East is concerned. But what are the Middle Easterns doing? They are extracting their pound of flesh. Mr. Trump praised Qatar for his investments in educational platforms in America universities. You are seeing how enemies of democracy, people who are playing the actual livid geopolitics in a remarkable, dangerous play for their own concerns. Now, Iran has reportedly floated an idea that setting up of a nuclear enrichment facility in Middle East, think about it. They are not giving up on their nuclear agenda. Will US give in since America needs money and they have understood that the freedom and money is what America needs. There is a famous saying in America, everything is available for a price if you are willing to pay. Qatar is paying very good price to America. They are literally capturing the American mindset behind every value that businessman relishes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a silly thing because Middle East is really very smart about doing what they do, and they recognize that America is needing money due to its financial obesity and wanting to have manufacturing back. To us Indians, Indian Americans here and Indians back home, let's not get sentimotional. This is the word that I have coined, combining sentimental and emotional together. We Indians particularly get very sentimental about our equations. Oh, India should be doing that, Pakistan should be doing that, America should be doing this, and Trump need not be doing this, and all that stuff. But remember one thing very clear, if we are not practical and pragmatic in international geopolitics, morality and ethics, these are only punchline words for political system. Morality and ethics has virtually no role to play in pragmatic, hard-nosed international geopolitics. Self, self-need, self-assessment, self-requirement is the primary motive for pushing your agenda. If you are not, if we live in the misguided interpretation of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that needs to be recalibrated. If we believe in Atithi Devo Bhava, then we have to really understand who is Atithi and who is not. This is very important requirement for India as we speak. Mr. Trump insulted the word friends by friendship by equating Modi and Sharif in the same platform, by equating Pakistan and India, a terrorist nation. Whatever you owe them, give it to them, but not at my expense, not at the expense of Indians. And that's what is important for India to convey. Sometimes I feel people in politics do crazy things, but they are not crazy really. It is calculated for a particular objective. Is it just a temporary fallout? Is it actually a temporary fallout between India and America? Because one has to become important in the scheme of things of every country. Every country will have to fall in line with the scheme of things that India wants to do. America is doing it for whatever suits their requirement. They are following their game. The question for India and Indians and Indian leadership is, are we doing what we must? And I think under Prime Minister Modi, a lot of things have been accomplished for the Indian intent. Everybody knows the huge success of Operation Sindoor that happened just a few days ago. Pakistan went crumbling on its back, on its butt, call it any which way you like. And America came at its rescue because America has been using Pakistan for its own nefarious purposes. So we have played the international geopolitics game. Are we playing the authentic international geopolitics game, or are we indulging in temporary maneuverings of chess play? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for India to draw its own line, draw its own agenda. Indian superiority of technology was visible. The world media is not pro India. Let's be very clear. Where is India's Al Jazeera right now? Who is talking about India as a country relevant for them? We have to make ourselves relevant to every country's life. Yes, we are living in a remarkably tricky world in which, for the woke army, for all those elements that make up the woke army, India and Hindus are their common enemies. They are after us. And if we are not fighting them hard and truly, then we will suffer. The other part which I wanted to make a mention, that anti-India lobby has definitely succeeded in putting India as a marginal state in the overall scheme of things. All these words of strategic ally, natural allies, a strategic partnership has only a wordy dual. It's not effectively in place. Because if somebody is your strategic ally and a natural partner, you know, you don't deal with them these kind of cards in a game of poker. That's what is important to know. And let's be very clear. Let's be very clear about a few things. The lesson that we learn. If everything that happens happens for good, so goes the famous phrase, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, उसको we have to think about it. How do we make this disaster as an opportunity? What do we need to do? These are the warning shots for India. Because despite 10 years of really magnificent foreign policy, we today know who are our friends and who are not. And we have to deal with the situation from that point of view. Remember also, appeasement and pandering to nefarious elements never gets you what you want. That's that is the basic learning that we must have. So Mr. Trump is doing what he's doing. As a Republican, we will continue to voice our points of view, because one thing is clear: in Republican Party, dialogue, discussion, and debate will go on. It's only in Democratic Party they don't have. I'm urging every Indian not go absolutely sentimental about America and Donald Trump. What is important here is advance the agenda that you want. If you do not have the ability to make yourself relevant, people just don't buy it. Nobody will take our narrative unless we make the narrative. So learn from this lesson itself that Pahalgam, where the brutal murder of Hindu tourists happened in India, in Kashmir area, that's completely in the background. That's almost forgotten. And that's truly tragic. But the world is talking about Pakistan matching India, whereas the reality is that Pakistan was put into dust. This is what is significant. So let's resolve to do something. Let us resolve to redefine our ambitions and goals, to redefine the Hindu agenda. It's critical because you cannot remain isolated at the mercy of those who treat you as, you know, as you know. I don't have to use the words for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, life is more than profit and loss, shareholder value. There is a value to varieties of things that we do, and it has to be conveyed. I always say that. So, anti-India lobby worked. Somebody somewhere persuaded Trump that money matters. And for Trump, money matters. For America, money matters. What matters for us? Do we know that? Let's not live under the delusion or illusion of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam alone. Remember, international geopolitics is a hard business, hard event. There, sentiment, emotion, morals, and ethics don't work. Right? Kautilya's Arthashastra is remarkable. All the principles of Sam, Danda, Bhed, Bhav, we have it, but we don't practice it perhaps. So I'm looking at Trump's tricky play, and it's a dangerous play against India. But every disaster offers an opportunity, and how do we respond to that is the challenge that you face in India and I face in America. Let's do it together. I always say, Satyameva Jayate. And for truth to triumph, you got to stand up and fight for it. Remember, Mr. Trump's social media platform is called Truth Social. Let's show him the mirror. Thank you.